Philips, a brand that most of us are familiar with, was one of the largest and most popular electronics companies in Europe and has a past that will always be remembered. However, the company went through some tough times, especially very recently. What is the story behind one of the most well-known company of the Netherlands? What has it achieved and what started the downfall? Let's dive into the story of Philips. In the year 1891 in Eindhoven, the Netherlands, a father and son duo, Frederick Philips and Gerard Philips, founded their eponymous company Philips. They understood the significant opportunity that was created by the mass introduction of electricity. Gerard, being interested in science and engineering, made the duo decide to start the production of carbon filament lamps. Even though the initial years were difficult and nearly led them to bankruptcy, Frederick and Gerard decided to bring in Gerard's younger brother, Anton, into the company. He literally changed the company's status and formed a basis for the international expansion. This resulted in the founding of Philips Metal Filament Lamp Factory in 1907 and Philips Light Bulb Factories in 1912. The 1900s brought in great social and economic changes, and the company Philips witnessed it all. These were the times when Philips became the largest employer in the Netherlands and constituted more than 2,000 employees. The company also invested in providing healthcare, housing, schools, and even provided free medical aid. Their status seemed to increase day by day, which also instilled a sense of social responsibility that even continues to the present day. Their motto was to strive for high quality rather than low cost. The best quality of the company was that it took great care of its workers. Their cradle-to-grave tradition benefited its workers to a great extent, which instilled a sense of loyalty and affinity in the workers for the company. Around 1910, Anton founded a factory village called Philips Village, where employees were provided with all conveniences. He builds healthy homes with vegetable gardens, and a community emerges in the village with various amenities such as a Philips bakery, drugstore, and even a sports field. This simple sports field later matured into the famous Philips Sports Vereniging, PSV, currently one of the top soccer clubs of the Netherlands. Philips's employees did not only work at the company, they also lived there. Really sounds like a great employer, right? Philips grew rapidly by focusing on innovation. The first Philips research laboratory, known as Philips Nat Lab, opened up in 1914, which was led by Dr. Gilles Holst. This lab was one of a kind and aspired to the highest standards of research, delving into many interesting projects like investigating emerging lighting technologies. The breakthrough in X-ray tubes was a great feat which marked the origin of Philips' involvement in health technology. Did you know that in 1925, Philips and many other companies became part of the now infamous Phoebus cartel to artificially increase prices and lower useful lifespans of light bulbs? Another crucial innovation for the company was the Stirling engine. Philips was instrumental in the revival of this type of engine. In the early 1930s, the company decided that offering a low-power portable generator would assist in expanding the sales of its radios in those parts of the world where man's electricity was unavailable and where not many batteries were available. The engineers at the company's research lab carried out a systematic comparison of various power sources and determined that the almost forgotten Stirling engine would be the most suitable. This engine was known for its quiet operation both audibly and in terms of radio interference, and an ability to run on a variety of heat sources like common lamp oil, which was cheap and available almost everywhere. Part of the rapid success of the products, Philips also was a leader in design. Louis Christian Kauf, a product designer, had a great deal of involvement with the designs that Philips used for its electronics. These innovative designs played a great role in driving consumer preference for the company's products as well as brand. The Philips radio, with the infamous Waves and Stars shield, was one of Kauf's designs. Another great product that was celebrated for its design was the rotary electric razor, Philishave. This razor was a true pioneer and instant success in the 1930s due to its ergonomics and attractive appearance. Nearly 700 of these razors were sold per hour in the year 1939. The immediate success paved the way for more appealing and customer-centric products by Philips, as you can imagine. Even though the company survived the First World War fairly well, with just a few hiccups, the year 1940, when the Second World War started, wasn't that good to the company. With the German invasion of the Netherlands in 1940, many of the Philips family fled to the US and took a large part of the company's capital with them, operating as the North American Philips Company from there. Somehow, they managed to run the company throughout the war. Anton's son Fritz Philips was the only one to stay behind in the Netherlands, where he saved more than 382 Jews from getting killed, and by convincing the Nazis that their contribution to the company was indispensable. After the war, the company moved back to the Netherlands and started its production again without much effort. This was possible as many secret research facilities had been locked and successfully hidden from the German invaders, who would have destroyed everything if they ever found out their secret locations. After the war, Philips Research developed many innovations that became of great help during the post-war recovery. These were innovations like UV light to kill bacteria, tubular fluorescent lights, new magnetic materials and ceramics, hearing aids and gramophones. The most significant introduction was the television, though. The mass marketing of television led to the modern age of broadcasting. The 1960s, liberated and free of war, were the innovative years of music and culture, and Philips played a great role in it. In response to popular culture and increasing consumer spending power, Philips' main focus was to make affordable technologies. One of those technologies was the first compact cassette audio player, which was loved by many. Not only did it set a high standard for tape recording, but was also followed by the first stereo compact cassette player, as well as car and portable radio players. In the 1970s, Philips launched the first video cassette recorder, which boosted the company's popularity. The 1980s was a time when Philips' pioneering work in images, sound, and data grabbed everyone's attention and remained at the forefront of emerging consumer digital technologies. The compact disc, better known as the CD, was one of its biggest successes and was developed together with Sony. Philips did not only have big successes, there were also quite some failures. One, related to their biggest success, was the Compact Disc Interactive, or CDI. The CDI is an interactive system where audio, text, and images are interwoven. Games can be played on it, but the device also runs movies, music, and interactive educational videos. The device originated as an add-on, conceived during a collaboration between Philips, Sony, and games manufacturer Nintendo, intended for the popular Super Nintendo system. This edition would receive a name you definitely have heard about: PlayStation. However, Nintendo decides not to join forces with the other companies after all, and production of this edition is cancelled. Philips responded by launching their own system, naming it CDI in 1992, but it did not catch on, partly due to a high price. In 1994, Sony then counters with their own, now well-known PlayStation, and by then, even an updated CDI doesn't stand a chance. In 1996, Philips decided to stop producing the CDI, losing millions. The 1990s was all about technology that was designed to be easier to use and focused on providing a much more comfortable experience. The products were designed with a more human-centered approach and were entitled Design for Life. Entering the new millennium, the 2000s intensified this people-centric focus by delivering new experiences that were advanced but easy to use. Philips abandoned the slogan, "Let's make things better," and adopted a new one, Sense and Simplicity. At this point, the diversity of Philips products becomes enormous. Lamps, televisions, radios, toothbrushes, shavers, medical equipment, and coffee makers are all part of the product range. However, after sustained losses in 2009 and 2011, partly due to the economic crisis, the company suddenly decided to take a different path and focus more on healthcare, both in hospitals and in consumer homes. Profits are decreasing quickly, and the company decided to cut down on 4,500 jobs as a part of their cost-cutting scheme of $1.1 billion. This was intended to boost profits and meet the company's financial targets. Yet, shortly after each other, Philips sells its consumer electronics branch and takes their lighting division public. After the deal between Japan's Funai and Philips regarding their audio and video branch falls through, the group sells these branches to US-based Gibson Brands, a company that has become big in the production of electric guitars. Philips Lighting became a separate company with its own headquarters, partly owned by shareholders. The detachment of this lighting division, the birthplace of Philips, after 123 years, leads to discussions within the company and causes friction. Moreover, from 2016, The Philips name will no longer appear as the main sponsor on the shirts of the soccer team, PSV. It will, however, continue to support the club financially. Philips is becoming less and less, and even dropping the electronics from its name. From now on, it's Royal Philips, and the company is solely focused on their remaining healthcare and consumer lifestyle divisions, which together form the new term health tech. Philips now aims at improving people's health and well-being through meaningful innovation and aims at improving the lives of billions of people by the year of 2030. As of now, the company has given up on everything from lighting to TV to domestic appliances and has sold its business piece by piece. The Philips name is still widely seen in these markets, as Philips sold those companies the rights to keep using the brand name. But it no longer makes Philips a high-tech company. Decades of mismanagement and failed innovation led to the downfall of a company which had great potential in the electronics field. What do you think went wrong with Philips? Was bad management the culprit here? Do you think it's possible for the company to achieve a comeback? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe to our channel for more of these inspiring stories.